Yikes, we don't remember these films being so bad. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 2000s movies that haven't aged well. For this list, we're looking at films that were either well received or popular when they were released, but nowadays come across as dated. Some of these entries are still fun to watch, but they're definitely a product of their time.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10, Garden State.
I feel so used. Thanks for your help, or at least your good intentions.
When it was released, Garden State was a critical success, garnering comments from film writers like, quote, "Not since The Graduate has a movie nailed the beautiful terror of standing on the brink of adulthood with such satisfying precision." That's quite high praise.
Wow, we're off to a great start.
But as the years have worn on, and Natalie Portman's character has come to exemplify the trope of the manic pixie dream girl, people have become less enamored with this film that was once considered a cult classic.
But what do you do? I mean, I can't quit. Their insurance is amazing. What do? You laugh, you know? I'm not saying I don't cry, but in between, I laugh, and I realize how silly it is to take anything too seriously.
The movie is the opposite of subtle, beating you over the head with metaphors and artsy shots which, with some perspective, just look like a try-hard move. Number 9, Crash. This movie may have won the Academy Award for Best Picture along with many other accolades, but even while it was being praised, many questioned its quality.
It's quite a mouth you have. Of course you know that.
Now it is considered by some to be one of the worst movies of the decade.
You have no idea.
It attempts to tackle race, but does so without any true perspective, redeeming a racist character when he clearly doesn't deserve the audience's sympathy. While it gets points for its diverse cast, it loses them quickly for its portrayal of racism in America.
Yo, Osama, plan the jihad on your own time. What do you want?
In retrospect, we really wish Brokeback Mountain had taken home the big award that year. Number 8, Knocked Up.
What?
What?
I'm pregnant?
With emotion?
With a baby. You're the father.
I'm the father.
Yes.
Knocked Up may have gotten a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is quite a feat for a stoner romantic comedy, but in the decade since its release, it has lost a whole lot of fans. The plotline employs many tropes that were popular in the 2000s, like the uptight and straight-laced woman who finds herself dating the loser dude.
So, do you want to get together and talk about it or something like that?
Yeah, sure.
Like a date?
Yeah.
Even one of the film's stars, Katherine Heigl, has called the movie sexist, saying that it, quote, paints the women as shrews, as humorless and uptight, and it paints the men as lovable, goofy, fun-loving guys.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Are you okay? I don't want to hurt your feelings.
No. Honestly, I just wanted to do right by you.
Number 7, Bruno.
Also Madonna hat eins, Brangelina hat eins. Und jetzt Bruno hat eins.
Das ist 14 Pfund von schwarze Gold. Ja.
We get it, Bruno is supposed to be satire, but even when something is created with a satirical edge, it can still end up being offensive.
No, I gave him like a traditional African name.
So what's the baby's name?
OJ.
The film was criticized for leaning on gay stereotypes, and in the process perpetuating them, even if the intention behind the project was good. Rashad Robinson, a representative of the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, GLAAD, said that, quote, Sacha Baron Cohen's well-meaning attempt at satire is problematic in many places and outright offensive in others. While we may have laughed at it when it hit theaters, it just doesn't feel funny anymore. Number 6, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
I now pronounce you husband and husband. You may kiss the husband.
The simple concept of this 2007 movie seemed dated almost as soon as it was released. 2 male firefighters decide to pretend to be gay and get married for insurance benefits. And you can basically imagine where the plot goes from there. On top of gay marriage being played as a funny plot device, this film also offers up some straight-up misogyny as well.
Stupid cow, I say. Hey, may I help you?
The Wall Street Journal deemed it offensive to pretty much everyone, calling it, quote, an insult to gays, straights, men, women, children, African Americans, Asians, pastors, mailmen, insurance adjusters, firemen, doctors, and fans of show music. Whew! Number 5, Shallow Hal.
What in the name of all that
blood is holy.
If you really look at the big picture, Shallow Hal is supposed to be about looking past appearances in order to really get to know people. But this movie manages to twist that general concept into something that is undeniably ugly, especially with a couple of decades of perspective.
Did you ever hear the song, Who Let the Dogs Out?
It can't be that bad.
A man who generally focuses on appearances finds himself falling in love with an overweight woman because his mind sees her as being thin and beautiful as he's so taken with her personality. Throughout the rom-com, there is a ton of fat shaming and jokes based on women's appearances, which definitely wouldn't fly today.
What are you doing? I am rescuing you. From what? From what? From a pack of stampeding buffalo, that's from what?
Number 4, The Notebook.
It wasn't over. It still isn't over.
We love The Notebook as much as anyone else, but you can't deny that in today's social climate, many of the scenes would be considered more creepy than romantic. Sure, it's considered one of the best romance movies of all time, and we agree that there are a lot of great parts, but the way that Noah pursues Allie at the beginning makes us cringe today.
Now, he is a nice boy. He's a nice boy, but he's what? He is trash! 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 Not for you!
Of course, the stunt he pulls on the Ferris wheel is weird and over the top, especially when he essentially threatens to kill himself if she won't go out with him.
Cut it out.
Well, will you go out with me?
What? No!
No?
No!
No.
Hey, pal, she just told you.
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't want to. Ella!
All right, well, you leave me no other choice then. Oh my God!
I'm not kidding! No, stop fooling around!
But the follow-up conversation where he approaches her on the street really isn't much better.
Chris, I'm really sorry about that. It was a really stupid thing to do. Crawl up a Ferris wheel to talk to somebody, but I had to be next to you.
Number 3, Love Actually. Another beloved rom-com, another movie that sadly isn't as well received today. In the age of Me Too and Time's Up, people aren't nearly as wild about a plotline where the Prime Minister has a relationship with one of his staff members, especially the part where he tries to get her fired because he's attracted to her.
I'm sure she's a lovely girl, but I wonder if you could, redistribute her.
It's done.
We once thought it was charming when Mark pursues his best friend's wife and tells her he's in love with her using poster boards, but now it seems like a crappy move. Not to mention all the fat jokes.
Well, perhaps you should come on later, Plumpy. Natalie.
We're not saying you should cancel your annual viewing of this film when December rolls around, but maybe be a little more critical of how the characters act. Number 2, Avatar.
Guys, what's wrong with this picture?
Considering it is one of the most successful films of all time, it should come as no surprise that there has been a certain amount of backlash when it comes to Avatar. It broke records upon its release and was praised for its visual effects, but a decade on, the plot has some problematic elements to it.
Only problem is, you're not the only one.
Not only have there been many accusations that the story told in Avatar was simply borrowed from other media, Pocahontas anyone? But more importantly, it has been characterized as a white savior movie.
And we will show the sky people that they cannot take whatever they want. And that this is our land.
This is because a native people need the help of the white man to save their society for them in the epic sci-fi flick. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions that haven't aged too well.
Well, how do you do? Shrimp?
What'd you call me, Jagamo?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You are a midget.
Well, you know what that means.
What?
I'd stick his finger up some guy's butt in medical school.
You disgust me.
I'm getting married.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My sister's getting married here.
Where's the groom?
Oh, he's not here.
Well, he hasn't actually popped the question yet.
Charlie, just between you and me, did you ever notice that your kids have sort of a year-round tan?
Yeah, well, my great-grandmother's half Italian.
Half Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Wedding Crashers.
Hey, Lou Epstein, I want you to meet a real mensch, Chuck Schwartz.
Stop. Where do we even start with this one? The basic premise of Wedding Crashers is troubling to begin with. Two guys sneak into strangers' weddings with the intention of lying to women in order to get them into bed.
I guess it is a little creepy.
Throw in a racist grandmother, the trope that all gay men are predatory, and some non-consensual physical intimacy, and you've got an absolute mess of a movie that unfortunately we all loved in 2005 when it was the highest grossing comedy of the year.
No, what's wrong with you?
No, what's wrong with you? You're projecting.
Drop it.
You drop it. You stop projecting on me.
Even one of the film's stars, Isla Fisher, said, quote, "I'm not sure that a Wedding Crashers sequel would work in the Time's Up movement."
Don't you worry, little Gloria. Mum's the word.
Thank you, Randolph.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.